Just some extra features that may or may not come up during calls that aren't beginner calls. I'm actually just going to lower my hand there. Um, so in my previous video, I just walked through an introduction to getting online with Zoom. And this is just to go through some of the extra features that might come up, particularly if you're doing an online course or if you're giving a presentation to a group, or if you're doing meetings with work on a more regular basis. So some of the other features that are on the screen. Um, so we mentioned over here already, this is where you go to mute or unmute. It's also where you can go to test your speaker and microphone. And you can check and see whether or not there's additional options there, as well as if you have a headset plugged in. Clicking on the little arrow here is where you would go to basically toggle and play with trying to make sure that you can be heard, and that the speaker or the microphone that you're using is being picked up. Similarly for the video. I mentioned that in here is where the video filters are for the fun stuff. There's some bugs with Zoom at the moment. It looks like they're not showing up all the time, or it could be as an aftermath of the kitten filter fiasco that they are redoing the safety of them. Anyway, but that is where you would go to actually apply them, is in there. And if you happen to have two cameras plugged in, you'd see options there. But that would be unusual. There wouldn't be typically a reason for that. So we know about those. Moving over there, security is more for the person who is running the actual meeting. So I'm still sticking with this being a participant's perspective. So security is if you did want to boot somebody out of the meeting, or if you wanted to restrict access, or you wanted to change names, increase anonymity, some of which the user can do themselves. In fact, if I go to the next section here, if I click on participants, it opens up a side panel that shows all the different participants in the call. And if I want to change my name on the call, so if my usual name on Zoom is Aisling Mackey, but I'm attending a much larger call and I don't want my full name to be shown, I can come up here and click on more, and I can rename or how my name appears on the screen on the broader Zoom call if I wish to, if I just want to have a little bit more privacy. This is where, if you are the organizer, you can invite people just by using this column here, and it brings up a screen to email people to send them an invitation to the meeting that's going on at the moment. I'm just going to close that down, close it off. Next over, we have a chat section, and it pops up at the right hand side as well. And this is where people often exchange links for resources during, say, classes or online meetings. If you want to send people towards where they can find materials after the call. It's also where people will ask questions of a presenter to be answered at the end of a presentation. It's both kind of a good and a bad thing. It'd be a bit of a distraction, but it is also needed sometimes just for information to be exchanged between the attendees, and also between the attendees and if there's a core presenter as well. So that's another sidebar that pops up. You can pop that out into a separate screen if you want to, so that it's if it's really active, so you can have it have a larger space off over to the side. This one is important. This is the share screen option. So if you are the person who is presenting on a call and you're ready to present, you need to have either your slides or your video or whatever it is that you're going to show from your screen on your laptop. You have those ready to go in the background. And once you're ready to actually present it to the group, you hover over the Zoom screen and you click on the green button, Share Screen. If it doesn't allow you to do that, sometimes the organizer needs to explicitly give access to participants to allow them to present, so you can just let them know that there's an issue. So when you click on that green Share Screen button, it pops up a window that has all the different screens that are currently open on your computer. And the easiest thing to do is just to share your whole screen, maybe check beforehand, sanitize it, make sure there isn't anything embarrassing sitting there open. But it is easier to show your whole screen, so that if you have to go between applications or anything like that, you can do so and you're not stuck in just one application, like PowerPoint, for example. So I would opt to share my whole screen, and then you click the share button, and it then shares your screen to the whole set of participants on the call. Now, it's a little bit confusing, hard to explain here, because I'm doing it while on a call, while recording a video of a call, etc. But what we can see now in the green frame that's on the video is what the other participants can see. So if I now opened up a video or a presentation, they would also see that running from my screen on their Zoom calls. To stop it, I come up to the top here and I press stop share. Now within the share screen option, and this is something that's probably of less concern to the person who's sharing their screen, but there is an option now for somebody else to use that function to access and be able to control your desktop remotely in order to help you fix something or install something. That can all be done via Zoom now as well. So again, if somebody asks you, they say they want you to give access to your desktop through Zoom, you're looking for that button there. I'm going to keep going. You're looking for that green button there. And then don't forget to press the blue button to share straight afterwards. People forget that all the time. They get to the screen and they kind of freeze. So just leave it as it is, selected on the whole screen, and say share, and your screen will start sharing with the group. The record button simply records a copy of this call as like a movie to your local hard drive. And we used it recently for a birthday, and it was great. It was great watching the birthday girl watching the video call over again and getting great pleasure from it. It's very easy to do. And then the last one over here is hidden under reactions. You might use. I think most people use their faces to give the smileys when they're on a Zoom call. They don't actually add a smiley. You might add them to your chat section. But what is in here that's important is the ability to raise a hand. So when you're on a call with many people, just like those people on the council meeting in England who are now famous, because of the way the audio works, people will often keep talking and not realize that someone else is trying to actually interrupt or trying to make a point and ask a question, and it's extremely frustrating. So you can use that function in Zoom to raise a hand and ask, so that the organizer can see visibly that somebody wants to speak and then can give you the opportunity to speak. So often when you go in as well to a class situation, everybody will arrive in and the organizer will have set it up so that you are muted to start with. And then, you have to, again, ask to raise a hand. It's quite different from a familial or friends situation where you're just all chatting away at the same time. Okay, so that covers most of the stuff that tends to happen or that tends to happen and that you can do. If you have any more questions, sure, drop me a line at info@computertutor.ie. And if you want a one-on-one session, then also get in touch and I can help you out no matter where you are. Thanks very much.